Breaking today. Prince Harry has told King Charles he is prepared to ditch Meghan Markle as part of a reconciliation with the British royal family, and he started by banning her attending his, I think, awful Princess Diana-themed PR stunt in Angola, purposefully designed to take attention away from Queen Camilla's 78th birthday, pushing her off the front pages. And most significantly, Meghan has tried to get in on the act, can you believe this, with her own birthday post to Camilla. So we're going to get into all of these fascinating and very, very weird developments with royal YouTube sensation, according to Taz, in just one moment. But first, I've got to take you through the article because, unfortunately, we have our new Omid Scobie. I've been saying it all week. It is Charlotte Griffiths. She is the editor-at-large of The Mail on Sunday, and she is now the horse whisperer to Prince Harry, who first revealed, of course, these peace talks, but actually, as I've been showing all week, she's been on this story, trying to rehabilitate Harry, trying to bring him back into the royal fold since August last year. But this new article is the most fascinating. It contains the most news. Harry wants to reconcile with royals, but knows he must do it without Meghan. As he walks through Diana Minefield, friends say he's sick of being the bitter prince and hint why his wife isn't with him. So what's going on here, folks, is that there is a pincer movement, and Prince Harry and his friends are now actively prepared to cast Meghan Markle aside in order to regain and rebuild relations with King Charles. Prince William won't be that stupid. I think this is all part of a strategy which Meghan just blew up with her Instagram post. But let's get to this reporting from Charlotte Griffiths, coming directly, again, from Prince Harry's friends. And she writes, friends say Harry is desperate to distance himself from the image of the bitter prince that has defined him since Megxit, and is willing to do whatever it takes to move on, even if it means briefly leaving Meghan behind for important publicity tours. Indeed, he travelled to Africa, which he has previously described as his home away from home without Meghan, whom it has been said hoped that she might be thought of as the new Diana when she married Harry in 2018. Okay, you're right. This event has been months in the planning, and here's the significant line. It was Harry himself who ruled out Meghan's attendance on the landmine walk from the start. According to sources in Angola, Harry didn't want Meghan there. This decision was motivated partly by concerns over her safety, but also by a belief that the Halo charity is his thing, and the source adds he wants to keep it that way. After all, Meghan could hardly resist the opportunity to be snapped by photographers walking literally in Diana's footsteps in a flak jacket and face shield her prince by her side. Apart from anything else, the images would no doubt have been a welcome publicity boost for her new business venture as ever. Until now, Harry has remained doggedly loyal to his wife. But his old friends tell me they believe he has finally realised what the world has known for years, that if he wants to reconcile with the royal family, he must be willing to stand alone. After all, several events Meghan has been involved in ended up being PR disasters, including in Africa. Harry may, of course, blame the press for the so-called media circus that surrounds Meghan, which is why he banned the British media from attending his Halo walk. But some might reasonably suggest that her absence is a tacit admission that she might be the problem. I am told the prince now wants to own his projects, or at least the ones he has left. Insiders say that after the torrid Bali saga, he is determined to ensure that such a situation never arises again, not with Invictus, not with his other UK charity Wellchild, and certainly not with Halo, which will forever be associated with his beloved mother. So, according to Taz, so much going on. Things have moved incredibly quickly this week. But I think the biggest revelation here is that, at least in terms of the peace talks with Buckingham Palace, which we saw obviously also leaked to Charlotte Griffiths, took place on this private members club balcony without Prince William, he is saying Meghan's not part of this. He is prepared to ditch Meghan when it comes to some type of reconciliation with the royal family, which, Taz, you've got to admit, huge move on his part, given that previously he was still demanding that King Charles had to issue some type of apology to the fake Duchess.
Yes, this is a pill that I'm really struggling to swallow, Dan. I do not really trust Harry in this. I think that their relevancy is dwindling. I think that more and more people no longer associate them as being part of the royal family. And all of this has just happened with the most convenient timing, from that meeting being uncovered, Harry going to Angola, timing it with Queen Camilla's birthday. All of it to me just seems that this is Harry wanting to give himself a big push, a big PR boost. They know that they are nothing without the royal family. And obviously, in Harry's own words, they've been cut off completely in recent months. Harry said in his interview with the BBC, what was it, just over 2 months ago, that my father won't speak to me. And I think that was beginning to cause a problem with their brand, which they do dip in and out of. And they want everybody to know that they're royal, that their children are royal, that he's the son of the king. They've got the grandchildren of the king. And then all of this time together, I believe that this is just another plot, another plan for both of them to just give themselves that, as I said, that little bit of bolstering, reminding the world that Harry is the king's son, that he is Diana's son, just to give Meghan's, no doubt her business, a bit of a push.
Yeah, because remember, this is what he was saying to the BBC just a matter of weeks ago.
Weeks.
As I said, life is precious. I don't know how much longer my father has. He won't speak to me because of this security stuff. But it would be nice to reconcile.
I mean, Tash, he is completely delusional, and the fact that he's saying now he doesn't want to be seen as the bitter prince, only because that didn't work 8 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I mean, by the way, can I just say F you, Charlotte Griffiths, F you, all of the people in the mainstream media who are so desperately trying to make this happen. Like, why?
I honestly don't know. I mean, you can see there has been a lot of articles since this meeting obviously got disclosed, but this is where I believe that it was obviously set up. It benefits Harry and Meghan. It doesn't benefit the palace whatsoever, because it makes Charles look weak, that he is yet again offering some sort of potential peace offering towards his son and his daughter-in-law, despite everything that they have done. And the media, I think it's almost like romanticizing everything, like, oh, Harry and Charles could make up, it makes everything rosy. But the public are not going to forget what they did to Queen Elizabeth, what they did to Prince Philip, what they continued to do to Catherine and William. You know, the fact that we briefly mentioned that Charlotte Griffiths is now like Omid Scobie. Omid Scobie didn't just do Finding Freedom attacking the family, which we know Harry and Meghan were involved in. In his recent book, Endgame, he called Catherine and the King the royal racists. And Harry and Meghan, they're so quick to put out a statement, aren't they, to correct the narrative when they feel that something is being said that's not true about them. But they've never once stopped and said, actually, that conversation didn't happen. That's not true. Omid's not telling the truth. They've allowed that narrative to go on, despite knowing that the king has cancer, despite knowing that Catherine was going through her own cancer battle. And for once, they stayed completely silent on it. So as I said, Dan, I'm really struggling to believe that they want any sort of peace, that they want to make up. I think all they want is relevancy.
Well, of course. And you look, Tash, at how calm things had been for the monarchy over the past few months. And what happens as soon as this meeting takes place? Boom. This eruption, this madness, dragging them down to their level. And indeed, I keep hoping that Charles is going to wake up, that he's going to take wiser counsel from the likes of Camilla and William and realise this is such a mistake. But of course, as we have also been discussing this week, he's an emotionally weak man, sadly. And I don't say that in a horrible way. His own father, Prince Philip, described it as that. But look, if it doesn't wake him up, this offer to throw Meghan under the bus, surely he should be woken up by the fact that he's yet again, this is Harry, tried to throw Camilla under the bus. Because, of course, last night, Tash, we have the royal family, as is always expected and long planned, posting on X ahead of Her Majesty's 78th birthday tomorrow, A new picture of the Queen has been released by Buckingham Palace. The image was taken this month in the garden of Raymel, Her Majesty's private home in Wiltshire, by Chris Jackson, who is, of course, the Getty photographer, who I believe is married to Catherine, the Princess of Wales, soon to be departing PA. Gorgeous image.
Yes.
And you would certainly expect that image, Tash, on a usual day to be on the front page at least of a few of the big pro-monarchy newspapers in the UK, like the Daily Telegraph and the Daily Mail. Instead, let me show you, Tash, those front pages if you happen to be in the UK today. The Daily Telegraph, of course, not even, I mean, there's no mention of Camilla. Certainly no picture. Of course, it's the Harry stunt, which goes on the front page. Likewise, the Daily Mirror, maybe they would have been less likely to use Camilla, but still. And the Mail go massive on the Harry picture, nothing of Camilla. And there was no need, Tash, for him to do that walk. He'd been in Angola for 24 hours. Why did he time it on the exact moment of Camilla's birthday? As Lou Berg-Windsor pointed out, 2 cheap stunts in a week. Harold's new PR team riding high, securing 2 front pages of the Nationals tomorrow. The ginger traitor and his trashy wife will be even more insufferable. And Tash, I mean, it's very hard to look at this in any other way other than Harry thought that he was going to get some cheap victory over Camilla, which the king should just think, well, to hell with you then. The peace talks are off.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, there's 365 days in a year, Dan, and he deliberately timed this, retracing his mother's steps for, what's this, the 3rd time walking through where the landmines were. And he has done this on purpose. And this is where, you know, I love King Charles, I really do. But he needs to wake up, because Harry and Meghan are never going to stop their games attacking Camilla, his wife, nor barbing Catherine and William. We've seen lots of incidences where they keep trying to barb Catherine and William. If the king wants to make up with his son, it's going to be at the sacrifice of other members of his family. Surely, what does it take? How many times have Harry and Meghan got to show their true colours? And this is just another perfect example of Harry's vengeance, his vendetta that he seems to have towards his stepmother. And I think this is got to be the final wake-up call for the king. Not only was that meeting leaked, but he's timed this with this visit to retrace Diana's steps, knocking Queen Camilla off the pages of the newspapers again. This is their MO. This is what they will continue to do.
I know, it really is. And of course, it wasn't just Harry at it. Actually, I think probably the more despicable stunt, Tash, is this from Meghan. So let me show you her Instagram overnight, where she decides to post a birthday message to Camilla, sending birthday love both near and far to my lady. So not Camilla on her own. I mean, she doesn't get one on her own, but with some other friend. And revealing to the world that she's getting the 3 awful bottles of tasteless rosé, which can't usually be sent to the United Kingdom. So maybe Meghan's decided to pay for postage and packaging. And as Princess Carparkle pointed out, this cannot possibly be a birthday message for Queen Camilla, can it? Well, yes, it can, because Meghan posted this around 4 p.m. Wednesday Pacific time, which would make it midnight Thursday in London, which is Camilla's birthday. So a few days ago, Harry and Meghan's team meets with the King's comms people, and now Markle is sending vague birthday messages to the Queen. How utterly and blatantly manipulative and disingenuous, using her cheap as ever swill to do it. She just can't stop using that tenuous royal connection, can she? Had she posted a legitimate birthday message without self-promotion, it wouldn't be so phony and unbelievable, but here we are. And Tash, you added, there are 365 days in a year. You can't tell me that Harry retracing his mother's steps again the day before Queen Camilla's birthday wasn't intentional. And you also believe, Tash, that this birthday message to Queen Camilla was also intentional.
I mean, it's not like it's addressed, happy birthday to Camilla. She left it vague enough to cause the speculation, releasing it perfectly in time with Queen Camilla's birthday. It's obvious that the media and social media were going to pick it up. It's just a typical example of the type of games that she likes to play. That's not a message for Queen Camilla. That's not a post for Queen Camilla. That's a post to stir the pot using Queen Camilla's birthday. She knows exactly what she's doing. And again, this is further evidence that they will never stop. Harry and Meghan are very much in tune with these ridiculous games that they seem to play. Meghan does it for notoriety. Meghan does it because she wants clicks, she wants likes. Harry does it because he's still very, very vengeful, very bitter. Charlotte can write as much as she likes that Harry's sick of being the bitter prince, but I'm sorry, the proof is in the pudding, and he is nowhere near getting over whatever it is that crawled up his butt over, attacking Camilla.
But haven't they already blown the promises that Charlotte Griffiths herself revealed that Harry had made at the Peace Summit? Because those promises were, we're not going to leak private conversations, and we're not going to keep slagging off the family. Okay, they haven't slagged off the family this week, but also we're not going to keep commercializing the royals. And that's exactly what they've done. I mean, you could argue that Harry timing his halo walk in Angola was actually slagging off Camilla in a way, because it's taking away from positive coverage for her. But with Meghan deciding to make the birthday tribute to Camilla an advertisement for her crappy wine, it's like, come on, this is what you are putting forward for yourselves.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, as I said, I don't know what else King Charles needs to make him realize that they're not going to stop. We thought that the last time, I think it was details of the children singing him a happy birthday were leaked, and the palace was reportedly upset over that. And that wasn't too long before I think Charles finally decided that he wasn't going to take any more calls. The calls are very much coming from inside the house at Montecito. Harry has timed this to knock Camilla off the front pages. I do believe it's always that reminder of reminding people, obviously with Diana, because obviously the whole triangle with Charles and Camilla, and Meghan doing that. As I said, she's done it deliberately to cause the speculation without actually addressing it to Queen Camilla. She knows exactly what she's doing. She's done stunts on Catherine's birthday, Prince Louis's birthday. These are Charles's wife, his children, his daughter-in-law, his grandchildren. Every single time Harry and Meghan try and do some sort of stunt where it puts them in the headlines at the cost of the people that are actually loyal to the king. And he's really got to just make this decision.
I know, but it's unfortunate, Tash, that he does seem to have completely ignored William over this. And I think William is sitting there thinking, oh my goodness, how are we back here? Like, how are we back here with all of this information being leaked? How are we back here going back to everything that previously happened before? How are we back here where Meghan is now trying to cash in on the proximity to the royal family? Because, of course, she felt like she could post this message to Camilla this year because it's like, oh, we're friends again now. So you just know that she's going to constantly use the royal family to try and sell her shitty product. You just know it.
Of course she is. It's no different to, she didn't use images of her children or the clothes that her children wear, because to be fair, we never see Archie and Lily outside of wearing their pajamas and the backs of their heads. But when it came to merching on her Shop My Link on her Instagram account under the name The Duchess of Sussex, she used clothing that was made famous by Princess Charlotte and Prince George. Again, that was another barb towards Catherine and William. And I did notice there were a few photographs of Prince William looking, I don't know, not quite as relaxed as the rest of his family at Wimbledon. And I'm not surprised, because the moment that the king has opened the channels, even this tiny minute amount, We've had days of the media trying to drag Catherine and William into it. Oh, William didn't send someone. William sent a firing shot. Catherine's trying to make sure that the brothers make up. Oh, Catherine doesn't want anything to do with Harry. They are constantly dragging William and Catherine into this mess, and everything that couple has been through over the last 2 years, Charles needs to prioritize them and the future of the monarchy, because I honestly think that the public will never accept Harry and Meghan back in a public facing role. And I think this is going to be very damaging for the reputation of the king, the fact that he seems to be so willing to sacrifice Catherine and William yet again, and now Queen Camilla, all to make up with his son, who clearly still has some sort of vendetta against him.
Tash, just to make you even angrier today,
No.
for some reason, Oprah Winfrey. Look, Oprah Winfrey's stock is down in the celebrity world. Have you noticed that? All of a sudden, people are like, "Oh, we see through you. You're quite gross. You're being quite tragic. You're on holiday with Kris Jenner." You know, all of that sort of stuff. And so she's now done the one thing I never wanted her to do, which is sort of cash in on this fake friendship with Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, who for a long time, remember, she tried to publicly disassociate herself with, because she was so upset about the way everyone turned on her after those interview lies. But no, do you remember this video, Tash? Let's take a look at it, where Meghan Markle posted that she was with some ducks, and it was also obviously planned, and, you know, all that. Well, we now learn via Oprah that Meghan Markle and Prince Harry had a duck emergency at their home. This is according to the reporting in People magazine, but it comes from a podcast from the equally revolting and reviled Hollywood celebrity Kelly Ripa. And oh my goodness, we've got to listen, Tash, but I know it's going to make you mad. Here you go.
I said with complete confidence to Coleman Domingo
that you would have bought the fuzzy chickens, and I would have gone, oh. You know what I would have done? I would have taken them over. You know, as chickens is the Sussexes.
Yeah, right.
They have them. So I would have taken the Sussexes.
You
fuzzy
mean,
chicken.
wait,
Oh,
you
let
mean
me tell
my
you the
gift
story.
would have been...
Nobody knows the story. Guys, nobody knows the story.
Okay.
So I get a call from Harry, Prince Harry, on Easter Saturday. And he says, "Oh, sorry to bother you, but we have a duck problem here. Some baby ducks, a duck had come into their yard and had laid the eggs and had these ducks, like 8 other chicks." And he says, "You know, our pond is a stream. We don't have a pond. So can we bring the ducks over to your pond?" And I said, "Sure. But could you wait, because Gail's grandkids were there. Kirby was there with her family." I said, "Wait until I can get the kids down to the pond to come to see you put the ducks in the pond."
Yeah.
So he goes, "No, we're coming right away. We're coming over." Okay. So we have the kids all waiting for the ducks to come to the pond. Harry pulls up and I say, "No, the pond is that way." He opens the door. He goes, "What? Which way?" I go, "Pond is that way." And as he opens the door, the mama duck flies out, and he's got all the baby ducks in a box. So he goes, "Oh no, the mama duck has flown away." Then we're chasing the mama duck who's in the front yard and has flown to the other side. We've got her ducks. Harry's running after. Meghan gets out. She's running after, chasing the mom and trying to get the mom to come back for their ducks. And for like a half an hour, we're running around with the ducks in the box, and we're all, and we have video. It's the funniest thing I've ever seen.
They're just like us. I mean, I would have been like,
down there going, "Where are the ducks? Where are the ducks?"
The kids just want to see the ducks. Listen, those ducks also hit the jackpot. They're like, wait a minute. We show up at Prince Harry's house, and now we're at Oprah's? Excuse me.
We're in Oprah's pond.
Yeah, that duck knew what it was doing when it laid its eggs.
And your furry chicken would have had a nice home.
Your furry chicken would have had
And
a
my
nice home.
fairy chicken would have been rehomed.
I mean, enough.
Regift.
Obviously, it's awful, Tash. It's awful on so many levels. But do you know what's so weird to me? Like, did you note that sort of like at the start, Oprah did have a slight disdain, like the Sussex, like, weird.
Yeah, she did. Sorry, I'm absolutely fuming. I think that's absolutely disgusting. To stress out a mother duck and to separate,
I knew
to
you'd be mad.
just be that
Knew
ridiculous.
you'd be
Sorry, I'm a
mad.
massive wildlife fan. That's made me super angry. Yes, I did hear the Sussex. You know, that's her. I suppose perhaps that's the fact that she's had to lower herself to get involved with this. But it just shows this whole setup. Meghan acting surprised and everything. They were stressing out. So if they knew that the mum had laid the ducklings there that had the eggs and hatched, that to me gives the vibes that they knew that she had a nest there. So they've chased a mother duck out of her nest, which they live in a big estate. It's not like they have a tiny garden like most people do in the UK. These are multimillionaires. We've seen the aerial footage of their apparent home. The fact that they chased around a mum with her ducklings like that, Lord alone knows what they went through, and for her to then be separated from her babies. And they're all laughing about it. That to me just shows a depth to Oprah and also Harry and Meghan. Sorry, you leave alone. If they were trapped or in danger or the mother duck had been hurt, then I could say, okay, get involved. But to do that just goes to show that, yeah, no, sorry, angry, rant over. I think that's disgusting story. That makes me really, really dislike them even more, if that's possible.
No, I don't know if that is possible, but I did know that it would make you mad. I knew it would make you mad, Tash. I think what's sort of quite gross about it is like Oprah all of a sudden thinking, oh, I need to boost my stocks, so I'm going to tell my Meghan and Harry duck story. Awful,
desperate.
Awful.
This video is for news reporting, commentary, and educational purposes. The views expressed are based on publicly available information and personal analysis. We strive for accuracy but encourage viewers to verify information through official sources.